Sophie Baldwin is an independent candidate for the seat of Mallee. The election's finally underway, Sophie.
Yep, thanks for having me, Ricky. We're ready to go.
Yeah, you certainly are, and we're seeing pink around the place. Why have you chosen pink as your campaign colour?
We just thought pink was a vibrant colour, and we're getting a lot of traction with it. We're standing out, and which is what we need. What needs to happen to Mallee? It needs to stand out and be counted. So, yep, pink's been good for us.
Yeah, I imagine you're working some sort of phrases like people be tickled pink if they've got an independent in Mallee.
Yeah, that's a good one. We might have to run with that, Ricky.
Oh, sorry, I'm not on the payroll. Have to. Hey, Sophie, look, there's been already a bit of an attack underway on this topic of the Murray-Darling Basin Plan. You know it well from your previous advocacy on water. The current MP, the Nationals, Anne Webster's, had a go at a Labor-Greens independent alliance threatening to take water away from farmers. Would you count yourself as someone in that supposed alliance?
So in my role in water advocacy over the last couple of years, I can obviously see where the water issues are going, and I'm certainly not part of any of alliance at all. I fully understand the impacts of the Basin Plan on our farming community and irrigated agriculture. So the Basin Plan has been implemented since 2012, and the Nats have been in government for a lot of that, and they've done nothing to protect our irrigated agriculture. It's no surprise. The 450 buyback has been part of that the whole way along. And,
this is the 450 gigalitres additional to the 2750 heading for South Australia if the plan is implemented and the current course it's heading on.
Yeah, exactly. And that shouldn't be any surprise that that's there. And the impacts of that on our irrigated agriculture will be just devastating. Not only that, Ricky, it's undeliverable through the system. Over the last 10 years, we've had more damage done to the Murray River delivering these huge volumes of water downstream than we've seen in the last 100 years of regulations. The Barmah Choke has lost 25% of its delivery capacity over the last 10 years. So, the Murray only has a certain capacity to deliver water, and that's got to be respected. The Basin Plan the success of that is based on a rigid set of numbers, and there's no flexibility around those numbers. So it has had a huge impact on our irrigated agriculture.
Yeah, and when Anne Webster has posted with support, something from Senator Perrin Davey, the New South Wales National Senator, saying she's trying to present it as a binary choice here. The coalition have shifted focus from on-farm water recovery to focusing on communities and better water management, but Labor have put buybacks back on the table and would scrap the social and economic test agreed to by all states to appease South Australia. Do you see it as a binary choice? She's Perrin Davey saying, don't think a vote for an independent will save you, they don't govern.
Well, I would say that the Nats don't govern for the people either. I mean, I've been involved in the floodplain harvesting space for the last 2 years, and all the Nats want to do is licence the northern irrigators well above the legislated legal level of cap, and we have no connected river system. And a key principle of the Basin Plan is the connected river system. So, who's supporting who here?
Well, incidentally, when the comment here is posted with support from Anne Webster and Perrin Davey, the Senator, saying the independents don't govern, Anne Webster herself said in a video posted about Labor's commitment that it was a Labor government. The Labor government was talking about 450 gigalitres. Has she given up governing herself?
Sounds a bit like it. There's a lot of pressure on the Nats, and they're on the nose. There's no denying that. I've been out and about right across Mallee, and people have had enough. They've had 74 years in the seat, and it's just going nowhere. So there's no long-term plan for Mallee. We need to stand up and start fighting for our electorate.
Well, we last interview we had with Anne Webster, we explored this question of the Nationals trumpeting this $7+ billion they're spending in regional Australia, but we put to her the figures that I think Ali Cupper had also posted after the federal budget, showing all of that's happening in Queensland, the Northern Territory and Western Australia, not much coming to the electorate of Mallee.
No, you've got to just only look around Mallee and see. We've got issues with our roads. People have been asking and, wanting to get a connected rail system up and running. I mean, that's been a problem for decades, but, there's a crying need for that, especially if we're going to have increased trucks on the roads with increased agricultural exports. In the Shire of Loddon, they don't even have access to a daycare facility right across the whole Shire. I mean, that's community-based infrastructure. Who's out there fighting for our communities so that we can continue to thrive and be sustainable?
Well, on that infrastructure front, this sort of political football that has been the Murray Basin Rail Project, you talk about, freight impact on roads. Is there a case for, the Nationals keep saying, well, the Labor government in Victoria, they won't pay to do it. With what we're seeing, say this Hell's Gate Dam that the coalition government have promised near Townsville to just stump up $5 billion to just make it happen, that's usually a state responsibility. Why shouldn't the federal government just stump up all the money to make Murray Basin Rail a reality?
That's right. I mean, people are sick of, that's a state issue, that's a federal issue. At the end of the day, we have an electorate here that needs a connected rail system, not only for freight but also for passenger. I mean, this is community building infrastructure and nation building infrastructure. This is something that can, joins Mallee up to the rest of the country. Let's get on with it. Whatever's happened in the past, has happened in the past, but we need to look forward.
Sophie, thank you very much for your time today. We'll leave it there, but good to catch you. We'll be talking with you again before the May 21 election day.
Thanks for having me, Ricky. Good on you, mate.